If you're like me, you want to see the inside of people's cabinets. You want to see their organization or disorganization. You want to see what products they have that they use all of the time. So today, I'm going to share that with you. We're going to go through all of the cabinets today. I have so many different products that I love that have stood the test of time that I use on the daily in my kitchen that I'm going to share with you. Everything will be linked below. But also I'm just going to show you how my kitchen functions and how I have it set up to be functional. It's not Pinterest worthy. It is not beautiful, but that's the beauty of the fact that we have cabinet doors and we can close them. No one needs to see them, but today I'm exposing it all. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy and this is Mandy in the Making. Oh, and a portion of today's video is kindly sponsored by Thrive Market. I'm showing you things that make life easier. Thrive Market makes grocery shopping easier. I'll share more about them later. So I did not come through and clean up anything, make any changes whatsoever. You're just gonna see what our cabinets look like on the day-to-day. And then also you're gonna see a lot of the products that you've probably seen in my cooking videos. And then things that I not necessarily regret buying, but I'm gonna share with you things that are just kind of hanging out and probably need to be decluttered that I wouldn't probably purchase again. We're gonna go through it all. So let's do it. Where to start? I feel like we should start right here because that is where you guys normally live when I'm filming. Let me show you. You normally sit right here on this bottom shelf, right in between those two sections. You got it? All right, so let me show you what's actually in here. So is it Pinterest worthy? It is not. But is it pretty functional? Yeah, it is. So let me share with you. I've got our plates down here on the bottom. We do have like these plastic plates that we use, like if we get takeout or to like fast food or something like that. That way we don't have to use paper plates. We just reuse these. But then we have our regular plates, our dinner plates. Over here on the corner, I have these little kind of prep bowls. I love having these. Obviously, I have a cooking channel, and a lot of times I'll pre-measure out ingredients and we use these. So it just makes sense for them to be right here because I'm normally standing right here and prepping all of our food. So it's just easy for me to reach up here and grab those. On the second shelf, we have all of our bowls. I also randomly have my little scrapers over here. These are really nice and come in handy when I'm cooking as well. And again, it's right here where I can reach it really quickly and easily. It's right there. And then up here, we have our bowl cozies. If you don't know what a bowl cozy is, I need to enlighten you. You can order some on Amazon and I've got them linked, but the best ones are gonna be homemade ones. People that make them and sell them at like little vendor shows and things like that. That's where I've gotten mine. Plus I've had some subscribers make me some over the years, but they're really great because they can go in the microwave. So you put a bowl inside of it and you put it in the microwave. That way when you take it out, you're not burning your hands. Also, you know, when you're eating, you can just hold it and it's kind of like a built-in pot holder. But another great function is if you have a bowl of ice cream and the bowl is really cold, sit it in here and your hand is not freezing. I love bowl cozies. We will always have these. This is a salad bowl and a trifle bowl sitting inside of it. These I just got recently at a thrift store and really didn't have a place to put them, so that's where they're living right now. And then I've got like ramekins and things over here for like salsa and sauces. But then you see I have Ziploc bags. And the reason I have my Ziploc bags up here is because I don't have a space in a drawer right here for them. And this is where I need them. Again, I'm standing right here. I don't want to have to walk away to go grab something that I need. So I keep Ziploc bags up here. I don't use them as much as I used to because I have some things that replace that, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But just having them right here within arm's reach when I am bagging things up is really helpful. All right, I guess it makes most sense just to drop down, and I'll show you these drawers in this cabinet down here. Confession time. First of all, we've got our dishwasher here, and it's not here. And I know most people have their dishwasher right next to their sink. We did not do that, obviously. This house was built in the 70s. I think this house was built without a dishwasher and they added one later, and for whatever reason, they decided to put it here. I've gotten questions about that throughout the years, and I don't know why they did that, but they did. It's still functional because when I open this up and pull the drawers out, I can still stand at the sink and just load the dishwasher. It's not a big deal at all. And speaking of the dishwasher, a couple of things. First of all, this magnet, super handy. When I got it, I thought, oh, that's so neat, but I don't know if I'll really use it. Yeah, we do. So during the day, it's on dirty, but then at night when I start the dishwasher overnight, I'll mark it to clean. And it does have a light on here that tells us when it's clean, but sometimes in the morning, somebody will just reach in and grab something that they want from the clean dishes, and then they'll close it back. When they close it back, that light goes away because it assumes it's been emptied. But if that person did not empty it out, they can leave it on clean, and that way we know not to put dirty dishes in here. And then as soon as I empty it out, I switch it over to dirty, and that way everybody knows they can load their dishes in here throughout the day. Since we're talking about things that make my kitchen functional and make my life easier, I'm gonna have to mention Thrive Market. They are the sponsor of this portion of today's video. And y'all, ever since I've started using Thrive Market, it makes grocery shopping a lot easier for me. Here's the thing, I've just pulled a bunch of stuff from my cabinets that we use all the time. And now, not all of this do I have to reorder all of the time. Like, this is the Thrive Market organic apple cider vinegar with Mother. It's raw, unfiltered. It's getting low, you see that, but I haven't had to order this in quite some time. So I'm not placing an order for all of these all of the time, but I'm using them all of the time. So Thrive Market is a membership-based grocery store. They're on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone for just $5 a month, which is less than I paid for a coffee when I went out yesterday. You can be a member of Thrive Market. You can get access to all of their goods. You're paying less than you would at your regular grocery store for organic products. And you know what? They'll price match if they need to. But these things have become staples in my kitchen. We love them. And I'm going to share with you some of our favorite things that I order time and time again. Thrive Market just makes it easier for me not to have to think about labels, not to have to wonder if something is good for me or not. They ban over 1,000 different ingredients from their site. So if you're ordering it from Thrive Market, it doesn't have all that bad for you stuff in it. And I can get really high quality organic products for either my pantry or even cleaning products or beauty products. I can get all of that from Thrive Market, not have to think about it, and just know that I'm making healthier choices for my family. Something I've ordered a gazillion times is their olive oil spray. Love this. This replaced like another popular brand of nonstick spray. Use this all the time. Something else we order all the time are their organic hot and spicy pickles. They are not overly spicy, but they have a really great flavor to them. Highly recommend these. They even have a lot of spices and things. I love their bay leaves. They come in this package and they're a good size. Sometimes you get bay leaves that are teeny tiny. These are a really good size. So if you're wanting to save yourself a headache of having to try and track down all these different organic products, Thrive Market has them all online. You can order them from the comfort of your own home, have them delivered right to your door. And if your order is $49 or more, it ships for free. Just go to thrivemarket.com/mandyinthemaking. You're gonna save 30% on your first order when you join today, and you'll get a free gift. You're going to fall in love with so many different products that they have. Might I recommend, and I've recommended it before and I'll keep recommending it. This, instead of going to the grocery store and getting another cookie that looks like this, buy this. The double cream, so good. All right, thrivemarket.com/mandyinthemaking. Let's get back. Now, let's talk about the fact that this is a new dishwasher. Our old one was just kind of like the basic of basic. And I thought I measured right, but I didn't measure right. The depth of where it is not the standard depth for dishwashers today. So this sticks out a little further. And what I mean is, I can no longer open this drawer with the dishwasher closed. Convenient? No. But I needed a dishwasher more than I needed to be able to open this drawer, and I was not going to send it back and get a different one. So there we go. Now this is something that I have come to love, and yes, it means that it takes up another drawer where I could have potentially put maybe the Ziploc bags in here. But I used to have a knife block, and I did not love my knife block. Number one, the knife block that I had was for a particular set of knives. So, you know, if one of them broke or got dull and I needed to replace it, there was no guarantee that a new knife was going to fit into that slot in that knife block. So I got this one. I have it linked on Amazon below. I can put all of our nicer knives in here. I've got all our steak knives. It even holds my kitchen shears. I've got some extra kitchen shears and some herb shears down here. But all of that lives in here. Is it inconvenient that I have to open up the dishwasher to get to it? Sure, but it's not a deal breaker. It's okay. Moving over to this drawer, this one is a hot mess. And I say it's a hot mess, not because, I mean, we've got some organization going on in here, but honestly, we just kind of throw stuff in here. This is just a hodgepodge of different things. You've got peelers, a can opener, a juicer, a garlic press, a couple of different garlic presses. We've got straws, like reusable straws in here. This is my second one of these, and I highly recommend these. This is a jar opener. It's really great. But just know that if the jar seems a little too big for even this biggest one, don't fight it. You will break it. Ask me how I know. So this is my second one. Also, a very sweet subscriber made me like a little jar gripper with a little cat on it. Isn't that cute? But this side is like silicone-ish and helps me to grip a jar to open it. But yeah, we've got just a hodgepodge of things in here. Our corn on the cob holders are back there. All kinds of random things. So that's what this drawer is. Again, super functional. Is it beautiful? No. But we use pretty much everything in here pretty frequently. So there you go. This is where I could probably change things up. And I say that with a caveat. So when this is down, when this is open, and I am unloading the dishwasher, I'm thinking about getting into here. And right now, I really don't ever have a need to have to get into here with this open, like unloading the dishwasher. So that's why I've kept it the way it is, because truly the things that are in this cabinet right here would probably fit better and make more sense in this cabinet here. Let me show you. Also, we redid these cabinets a little over a year ago, and we have already broken one of the cabinets, and I'm about to show you that. I don't know if you can tell, but this one, can you see that? You see how it leans? Let me show you when you go to close it. That's the situation. We need to fix that. Yes, I realize. But we're going to pretend like that's not happening right now. And let me show you everything that's down here. This is a very random hodgepodge of things. First of all, that is to the dishwasher, I'm guessing. Second of all, I've got my, what are these? Cooling racks. These are cooling racks that I got from Pampered Chef. I have a couple of them and I love them. We've got our toaster down here. We don't use our toasters extremely often, so I love that it's not just sitting on the counter taking up space, and I have the space for it here. We also have our griddle down here. We use it pretty often, but again, I don't want it up on the counter. And then I used to make sweet tea a lot, and I used this, but it's been a while since I've been making sweet tea. Up on the top shelf, I have some bread pans here, our rolling pin, and then honestly, this shouldn't be over here. This stuff that's inside of that bread pan as well. This goes with my chopper that I love so much, and it gives it more functionality. But I really just don't use these parts of the chopper very much at all. I've used them just a couple of times. So I guess that's kind of why they live over here and not with the chopper. You'll see I don't have room for it to go with the chopper. Then I have this cake plate, and like I use this for cookies. I think it's for pies, but both of those type of things right there. And then over here, we use linen napkins on the day-to-day, but when we go and get like fast food or takeout and they send napkins, I always just throw them in here. I don't know why I don't just throw them out, but we do reach in here and grab them every now and then. So that's just what's laying up there. But that's all that's in there. It's really doesn't make a ton of sense. It's not beautiful, but it's functional enough for us. I say it's functional enough, but watch how I have to close this thing. There we go. We'll get it fixed. So moving from here to under the sink. I bet you can guess what is under here. It's just all of our cleaning products, just like pretty much everybody else. The only thing I've done down here is I've put a Lazy Susan in, which is nice. The scrub mommies are in the way right now. I just got those. So it's not turning very easily, but that is nice to have. And then this little drawer system I got from Amazon as well. I keep extra sponges and things like that in there, but nothing fantastic or wonderful under there. It's not too bad. I cleaned it out not too long ago, so it'll do. One thing that we did do is we upgraded to the soft close cabinet doors, the hinges, when we upgraded the kitchen, and I do love that. So you've seen all of that. Let's move over here. Now this area is right next to the stove, within arm's reach of the stove, everything over here. So let me show you what I've got. In this cabinet right here next to the sink, and here's the stove, I've got some baking dishes up here as well as some serving platters. We don't reach for those a ton, so that's why they're up there. Now, I do use both of these baking dishes pretty frequently, but I can reach them pretty easily. So I have a square baking dish there, and then I have that one that I found at Goodwill. I've had questions about this dish. Anytime I use it, somebody asks me where I got it. It is beautiful, I have to agree, but I found it at Goodwill. I think it originally came from QVC. It's the Temptations line by Tara. It's beautiful, but it's a great baking dish, and so I use that pretty frequently. And I don't know if you can tell, but this cabinet goes all the way back to that back wall. I obviously don't put a lot of stuff back there because you can't reach it, but it's kind of nice that we have that extra space for things to live. But this second shelf, here we go. If you boil eggs, hard boil eggs a lot, and you do 6 or less at a time, you need this in your life. So this little thing, it's by the company Dash. You can do more than just hard boiled eggs. You can make like little omelets and things like that with it. But you put the eggs in here and you add water to the base of it, and it does come with a little thing that you fill up with water. And then on the bottom of this, you're supposed to poke a hole in each egg, which I do. I don't know what that really helps with, but that's what you do. And you can do up to 6 eggs at a time. Now the one I have is super old, and when it's done, the timer screeches like an alarm. It's very disturbing. If you aren't expecting it, it will scare you. The newer ones sing a little song. So if you purchase this from my Amazon store, you'll get one that sings a little song. It'll be much better. Back behind that, I have this mason jar that has the pour spout and the handle. For a while, I was making homemade creamer and I used this. Now, I'm not been making homemade creamer as much anymore because recently we just use half and half and brown sugar. So I'm really not needing to make creamer, but I'm keeping this because I love this. If you make your own creamer, highly recommend. You can just get the lid to fit on any mason jar and turn it into this, or you can buy all of it together. I've got it linked below. The real MVP of my kitchen lives right here. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I use this thing almost daily. This is my veggie chopper. It comes with 3 different little heads that can go in there and snap in. And it is so, so helpful. Instead of having to chop everything up one by one, you can just use this and chop stuff in seconds. So these are the things that I use most often with it. However, the other pieces, you can turn this into kind of like a mandolin. You can take this part off and stick a mandolin top on it. That was what I showed you that was living down here. But I very rarely use that functionality of this, and I don't have the space to keep it up here. So that's why those live over there, but worth its weight in gold. And I think the one that I have linked below doesn't quite look like this, but it's the same company. It's just the newer version of this. So there you go. I got all of that put back. These are the baking dishes that I use probably the most often. Unfortunately, I don't believe I have a link for these. I got these at Sam's Club several years back. There's an oval baker, and then there's 2 larger rectangular ones. They are wonderful. I love them. I love that they have handles. And then back here in the corner, there is a set that I got from Amazon a while back, and I still love it. And one of the reasons I love it is it's got the 9x13, but it also has these kind of smaller sizes. And I like that because if I'm making a small dip, like an appetizer dip or something like that, these are obviously bakeware, can go in the oven, and they're just a smaller size. So I haven't gotten rid of those, even though I don't use them nearly as much. But that's why they're back there in the corner. Now on this bottom shelf, we've got all of these kind of prep dishes. These came from Pampered Chef, so I don't believe I can link these. I love them because you've got the 1 cup size. You also have the 2 cup size and the 3 cup size, and they have lids, which is so great. So if I'm prepping, like pre-shredding cheese or something, I can put it in here and put a lid on it and stick it in the fridge. That's nice. This measuring cup came from Pampered Chef, and I love it, not because of just the regular measuring cup function, but I love it for this side. This will measure pasta for you. So you can see how many servings when you lay the pasta across. So if you've got spaghetti and you're trying to figure out how much you need, because that's always the age-old question. You either cook way too much or not enough, right? This helps. I'll see if I can't find something very similar to this and link it in the Amazon store for you. Another MVP of my kitchen lives right here, and it's my cheese grater. I'm gonna show you how I kind of assemble the cheese grater. I don't ever really have to wash this. I might wipe it off, but this part doesn't get dirty. It will suction to the countertop. This part, the main part, is dishwasher safe, which the whole thing is dishwasher safe. It's great. You just slide this right in here, and then you turn this knob, and now it's not moving. It's not gonna move out of the way when you're trying to shred. We have 3 different little attachments, I guess. If you're doing like Parmesan cheese and you need a smaller grate, you can use this one. Regular shredded cheese, you just use this one. And then this one will slice things really, really small. So I've done potatoes, like for scalloped potatoes. I've done cucumbers, onion. If you're just really trying to get small slivers, you can use this. But you just slide this in here. You have a handle that attaches. You just screw that on and you're ready to go. This part will push whatever you have down so that you're not potentially getting your fingers near the blade. And you just pop whatever you have in here, whether it's cheese or whatever you're doing, carrots, I've grated carrots, and you just spin it and it pops right out. I used to have the old school box grater, and while those are fine, it just takes a lot of elbow grease and it takes a lot longer than this thing. A sweet subscriber sent me this years ago, and I have loved it ever since. This particular one is no longer available, but I have one linked in my Amazon store that is wonderful, has great reviews, and many of you have purchased it and said you love it, you can't live without it. So never fear, you can get one pretty much identical to this. It's just not the same exact one. This one was sold on QVC for a while. I don't know why they discontinued it because it's great. Now before I put this in here, let me show you this thing right here. This is a pancake batter dispenser. Is it functional and really cool? Absolutely. Have I used it more than once or twice? No. I got it before we really started cutting back on carbs and things like that. We don't do pancakes nearly as often anymore, so I don't ever really use it. So I probably should declutter it. But if you make pancakes and you don't have something like this, let me show it to you. This is the OXO brand. You pour your batter in here, and it does have measurements on the side, which is really nice. But then in order to dispense your pancake batter, you're not having to do this and make a mess. You just pull that and it just dispenses it out the bottom. It's really, really cool. I haven't gotten rid of it because I'm like, well, I might be making pancakes. It's just a neat contraption. If you are always making pancakes, you definitely need something like this. Now, I also have my microplaner here. Love my microplaner, would never get rid of that. And then I've got some Tupperware soup containers. And then randomly, I have these, and I have a new set of these. I got this onion keeper at TJ Maxx randomly a long time ago, so I wouldn't have to use Ziploc bags every time I had a half an onion left. Love it. And one day I was searching on Amazon and I found a whole pack of them. Let me show you. So these are the ones that I found on Amazon. Obviously this one is for an avocado. It's really great. Now it won't keep your avocado from getting brown. Keep the pit in the half that you're not using, and you can just kind of scrape off the brown part, you know, when you're going to use it. But this is nice because of the shape of it. It's perfect for an avocado. This is meant for like a lemon or any type of citrus, and that happens a lot too. I'll use just half of a lemon and normally have to put the other half in a Ziploc bag. Not anymore. And then this one is for like bell peppers or tomatoes or anything like that. Whatever you want to put in here is going to be fine. These are dishwasher safe. And then this part right here conforms around whatever it is you're putting in there. So you see it can punch out. And then it came with an onion one too, another brown one like I already have, but that's in the fridge right now. But yeah, I have this whole set, and that really saves me having to use Ziploc bags nearly as much. As I was putting those back up, I realized they were sitting on top of this. Let me show you this. This is a burger press, and I like this particular one. We had an old one that we liked. This one is great. You can do a regular size burger and press it, and that way you get uniform sizes. Or you can put this in here, and you can do like slider size. So then you can just press this down and make the slider size. So 2 different sizes. It's really neat, and it has come in handy multiple times. Okay, so that is that cabinet. Let's close that and move over to this set of cabinets here. This is highly functional. It's not overstuffed. I do love this cabinet. I've got these mixing bowls that have the pour spout. These are from Pampered Chef, but there are some, they make some, I think Anchor Hawking or maybe even Pyrex makes some that are very similar. I love them because they have the lids as well. I got these years ago, loved them, but I'll link something similar below. We use these almost daily. And then I have 2 sets of liquid measuring cups. I have my Pampered Chef set that I love, and then I have my Pyrex set that I love. So I use all of those all of the time. And then controversial, y'all convinced me to finally get rid of these plastic cutting boards. I've heard so many bad things, and because of that, I just recently purchased this set of cutting boards from Amazon. I'll have them linked below too, and I do love them. I dedicated this big one back here for just meats, and then these 2 can be whatever. But it has a little stand that it comes with, and they're really pretty on the counter. So I've got those over there. So in theory, that was on purpose so that I could get rid of these. Have I gotten rid of these? No. Do I still use these? Yup. So if you have abandoned your plastic cutting boards, let me know. On the top shelf, we just have some mixing bowls. They're all kind of nestled in there together. I have my salad spinner there. And then we have colanders over here. This is an older one that I found at an antique store. The other one's collapsed down. This one is collapsed. That one is not. And then I have a strainer up there too. That's just where all of that lives. But that is very functional and it's the perfect space for that. So I'm happy with that cabinet. Since we're over here in this corner, let's just go right down here and I'll show you what's in this area. First of all, right next to the stove, I have this drawer. Now it houses all kinds of stuff and it does not look like it's organized, but it kind of is. I have a lot of little I have a couple of mini whisks and then just mini spatulas, and I love these. Both sets of these that I have were sent to me by subscribers and I reach for them way more often than I thought I would. So a little mini set, really great. I think the red set came from potentially Dollar Tree because it's the Betty Crocker brand and I know they carry that brand a lot. We have our little basting brush and then I have my measuring spoons. I switched over to these measuring spoons a couple of years ago and I love them. Let me show you why. This set is magnetic, as you can tell. I can hold it just by this one and they're all hanging out together, which is great. It has a leveler on top that's also magnetic. I don't use this very often because I don't bake very often, but it's nice to have. And then it has some really random sizes in here too. It has the tablespoon, half tablespoon, teaspoon, 3/4 teaspoon, half a teaspoon, quarter teaspoon, eighth of a teaspoon. And you can see it's double-sided. So if you're trying to get into a spice jar, you can use the skinnier side if you want to, but you also have this other side. So I just love that these all nestle together. They're not all over the place. They're not taking up a lot of room. That's it. So that lives right here in this drawer too. There's a pair of mini tongs in here and then like a mid-size pair of tongs. And then I have a couple of larger pairs of tongs. And the reason I keep tongs in here versus over here is because when you put tongs in here, it messes everything up. And when you try to pull the tongs out or you try to pull anything else out, it grabs the tongs because the tongs are expanded in there. It's just a hot mess. I do love this utensil holder. It's on like a Lazy Susan, so it does turn. And I have a lot of different things in here. I would love for everything to just be wood, but I'm gonna be real honest. Some of these I use daily and would never get rid of, the silicone ones. My mix and chop lives in here. If you don't have a mix and chop and you use a lot of different ground meats, you need to get one of these. But this also houses my spurtles. And I had a subscriber say, why are you using a boat oar to cook? Why not, my friend? Spurtles are great. So yeah, we have all of those housed in there. So that hangs out over here, but I don't put my tongs in there because it'll mess everything up. So tongs live right over here. I have a whisk. I have a couple of mini whisks that I love. I have a stainless steel whisk. And then my favorite whisk is this one because look how it lays in the drawer. And then when I need to use it, I just twist it and click, use it, and then click it back in place and it stores nicely in here. The only other thing I have in here, I have some cookie scoops, pizza cutters, and then my dry measuring cups that are from Pampered Chef as well. So that all lives in here. I use everything that's in here. I decluttered not too long ago, so this is very functional. Moving over to this drawer, which this drawer is right next to our sink. It has our drying mats in there. I have a couple of these drying mats that have cats on them. How cute are those? It has my kitchen towels in here. And ever since I switched over to folding my kitchen towels like this, game changer. And I'll show you how to do that. And then I have like our cloths, like cleaning cloths back here. But this way is so nice because I can choose which one I want and I don't just have to grab the top one. I have Geometry House towels. Those are my favorite. They will dry your dishes so quickly. They will hold so much water and then they dry very quickly themselves. They're very lightweight. They are wonderful. I made the switch to Geometry House towels years ago and I've never looked back. Sometimes I want a particular one and I don't want to have to dig through, like here. If I wanted a different color one of these, you have to kind of dig through and mess things up. I have these folded like this and it obviously still works because it goes in and out of the drawer. Let me show you how to fold like that. I'm going to unfold it completely and show you. So you just tri-fold it here. That's another thing I do love about Geometry House is it has this little loop here. So if you want to hang it on a hook instead of hanging it like I have it hung, you can. All right, tri-fold and then fold in half the normal way, right? But here's how you get them to stand up. You fold in maybe like a third, I guess, and then fold the other half in a third, but you see how I left a gap here in the middle? That's where you're gonna fold it over. And now it will stand up and you can see it. So that's how I have all of mine folded. It doesn't take much time at all to do that, and it just makes it so much prettier in my drawer, and then I can choose exactly which one I want. Earlier, I said I thought about moving what was in here over here. And here's the reason why. You see, this is just one door. Now it does go all the way back to the back here. There's plenty of room, and I do have stuff back there that I only use on holidays. But this is kind of our Tupperware. Are y'all like me and you call everything Tupperware even though it's not Tupperware? We do have some Tupperware brand things, but it's just food storage containers, but it's just so much easier to call everything Tupperware. So bear with me. I'm not gonna go all the way through this because it is a hot mess. I have some Pyrex dishes in here. I do have Tupperware in there too. It's a mess in here. It is a hot mess and I need to go through it again, but that's what that cabinet holds. And my thinking is, even though it would be better organized and easier to reach over here, if I have this down and I'm emptying out the dishwasher and I have a good many of these in there, it's gonna be kind of a pain. So there's that. And lastly, we have this little cabinet right here. This cabinet functions so perfectly for what it is. It holds 2 crock pots. I have 3 crock pots. It holds 2 of mine. So it holds a smaller one up top, the bigger one down bottom. These are some gloves for like when we're handling meat. And then those are the crock pot liners, which I have not been using anymore. I need to throw those out, quite honestly. But that is what lives right here, and it's perfect because I use my crock pots all year round and it's easy to access them. Okay, so we've done this whole corner over here. Up here, I just store extra spices. I mean, not even spices, like salt and pepper shakers. Oils, tallow, that type of thing. All of that lives up there. Randomly, I have a bundt pan back there, which I never use because, again, I don't bake. But that's all that lives up there. Nothing fancy, just stuff that we access pretty frequently. The other oils that I use more frequently live down here. These are from Palmetto Olive Oil Company. Y'all have heard me talk about them and sing their praises a gazillion times. There's a reason for that. We reach for these way more than we reach for anything up here. Okay, right next to that is our spice cabinet. Y'all have seen me reach in here before. It is not super well organized. It's okay. I have this double tier Lazy Susan, which is nice. I do love that. And up here, I've got a couple of different Lazy Susans. I've got this one, which is a traditional Lazy Susan, and it holds all of our vinegars and things like that. And then I've got a homemade Lazy Susan that functions just perfectly. Let me show you how I made it. Okay, I took everything out of it so that I can move it out. Do you hear that? This Lazy Susan cost me $3. It is 2 Dollar Tree pie plates and then a pack of marbles. So you put the marbles in the bottom one, you put the other one right on top of that, and then this will spin right on top of it. It's so great. I think I learned that from Catherine on Do It on a Dime here on YouTube years ago, and this has been functional and perfect for me ever since. I needed a specific size for that cabinet. That cabinet is kind of small, so it worked really well for me. So there's you an idea. If you want a Lazy Susan, but you don't want to spend $10 to $15 on a Lazy Susan, you can make one for like $3. And lastly, over here, we have right next to the stove, no shocker here, I've got, these are the only oven mitts I really ever use. I love silicone oven mitts. You will not get burned using these. And if you spill something on them, you can just quickly run them under water, scrub them with a little bit of Dawn, and not have to wash the inside. It's so great. Silicone oven mitts is where it's at. I also have a set of these, which is nice if you're getting something out of the microwave or you don't want to use a full thing. There's another one back there. So I use these pretty often as well. And then I have, of course, a ton of trivets. We have trivets from Caraway. We have other silicone trivets. And then I have some really great ones that you guys have made me and sent me. Y'all are so sweet to make things for me and send them to me. So she obviously knew. This one knew I love cats. She knew I love blue. We have a lot of great things. This goes on a cast iron skillet. It's like a little glove to go on the handle of a cast iron skillet so you don't burn yourself. It's great. But all of those things live in here. And this is a hodgepodge of stuff. There's cat treats in here. I don't even know what we're gonna see when we open this. Okay, we keep all of our water bottles down here, extra supplements that we use. Cat treats are up here. There is some descaler for our espresso machine. Maggie Moo knows if I'm coming over here, chances are she's about to get a treat. Sidebar, I had someone say, because from this angle back here, you can't tell that that couch over here on the right is not right in front of this door. There is room to walk in here. And there is a reason why we have a couch like this. Real life, y'all. There's a Chick-fil-A cup sitting over there. It's just not perfect, but you know. So there's 2 entrances into our living room. Actually 3, if you count that. My office is back there. Then you've got this big window over here. You've got this entrance from the front door. And then you also have that entrance from the kitchen. So it's really hard to place furniture in here without blocking an entryway. For the longest time, we had a sectional that went this way and that way. So when you walked in from here, you had to walk around just to get into our living room. And I hated that. I wanted it to be more functional this way. So now you can walk straight down into our living room. And I say down because it is a sunken living room. And we got new furniture, and this is just the best placement of it. It makes the most sense. So from that side, it does look like we have something blocking, but we don't. There's plenty of room to walk around. So moving over this way, obviously our fridge is here. This up here houses grilling stuff. So y'all know we love to grill. We have a Blackstone, we have charcoal grill, we have a smoker, especially during the warmer months. Stephen is very much a grill master, as we like to call it. But I got this from an antique shop, but this helps us like carry things back and forth from inside to outside. But all this stuff in here is all for the grill. We've got all kinds of different like brushes, cleaning brushes, spatulas. We've got his bear claws to shred meat. Also, we have these. These are telescoping, so you can pull this out. And they have little protectors on the ends. But these are for s'mores. So you can put your marshmallows on the end here. You just take the protector off and stab your marshmallow. And you can put it over the fire. These are so cool. I love these. We've had these for years and they have come in handy many times. So, and then they have this little bag that they go in. It's really nice. But that's all that lives in here. It's just a way to corral it all and it not look obnoxious. It just sits on top of the fridge in this pretty basket and no one really knows what's up there, but we do and we use it all the time. There's cabinets behind that. It just holds extra decor. I'm not gonna go up there and show you because it's just extra decor that I use, that I love, that I don't want to get rid of. And I do use seasonally and things like that, but it's just tucked away. It's kind of hard to get to. Obviously, I don't access that very often. Then we have this side over here. And this is like our drink station / coffee station area. So our cups and glasses and everything all live here, which it looks pretty bare right now because I think a lot of them are in the dishwasher and it needs to be run. We've got to-go cups. We've got all the coffee mugs, everything that all lives in here. Now our water bottles and things like that don't, because they don't fit in here. That's why they're in that other cabinet. But they're right here next to the fridge and right above the coffee machine. So it just makes sense. Over here, private, but it's just our medicine cabinet. It's got all our supplements, all our medicines, anything that we need for first aid, that type of thing, lives in this cabinet. We're not gonna go through that. But then down here, we used to have a different coffee pot that also had a K-cup section to it. It wasn't a Keurig, but it had the K-cup section. We used to just have K-cups in here. But now this still holds drink stuff. So it has liquid IVs, elements, things like that, which is the electrolyte drinks. Then like hot chocolate mixes, teas, all of that stuff lives here because this will dispense just hot water as well. So I can make my tea. I don't drink tea very, very often, mostly just when I'm sick, but all of that lives there. Here we have aluminum foil, wax paper, parchment paper, cling wrap, all the things. This is our junk drawer, and it's truly a junk drawer. It is a hot mess. This is our junk cabinet. Yeah, I just said that. It's not junk per se, but it's like a hodgepodge. So we've got a ton of mason jars and vases and things like that in here. Then I randomly have like the lint roller right there. I'm gonna defend my choice to have the lint roller right here. It is right next to the main door that we go in and out of. And we have a black cat. And if you have a cat or a dog, you know fur gets everywhere. So a lot of times right as I'm leaving out, I'll notice I have fur on me and I can use this. But do I need to go through that cabinet and declutter? Sure do. And then lastly over here we have this double set of cabinet doors. And this houses all of our cookware, which is 98% caraway. We have a couple of cast iron skillets that aren't caraway, but everything else that we own and that we use daily is all caraway brand. The reason I keep all of that over here, because is it really functional? Because the stove is over here. No, but it's only a few steps away. It's really not that big of a deal. It has drawers built in, and nowhere else in this kitchen would be able to hold all of this and have such easy access so I could pull it out. So that's why we chose this to house all of our cookware. Same thing down here. All of that is caraway cookware down there. Love it, and it's very functional. My bakeware is down here, like cookie sheets and things like that. All of that is down here. So that's also caraway. Muffin pans, things like that, that all lives down here. I don't think mine is a true warming drawer, because I don't think, you have to tell me below, educate me. I know that this technically is supposed to be a warming drawer. I think it just naturally kind of warms up when you have the oven on. I get that. But I think some people have one and it's truly a warming drawer, like they have a button for it or something, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, I don't know. But that's just the perfect place for all of our baking, like cookie sheets and all of that, so it just lives there. We are almost done, friends. So we were just over here at the coffee station. We started over here, but I have yet to show you this drawer. You can probably guess what's in here. Our silverware. It's right here next to the dishwasher, which makes it really easy to unload. I love this expandable tray that I have it in. And then I said earlier, our nice knives are in this drawer. The reason why, these are nice too, don't get me wrong. And I use these more often than I use those. These you can find on Amazon, one of which, it is so faded because we use this one so much. You see the pattern is so faded. The other ones are really bright and bold. This one used to be too. But the reason I leave these in here is because they have their own sheath. So nobody's gonna get cut reaching in here to grab one. So these all just live right here. I have paring knives back here. And then I have my ice cream scoop way back there in the back. Do I know why I ended up putting it all the way back there? Not really, but we don't have ice cream that much, but I just know to reach back there and grab it. So that lives there. And then this is kind of a strange cabinet. It's got like little appliances and things in there. So we've got a coffee grinder back there, which we don't even need anymore because we have the espresso machine and it grinds the coffee beans. So I could probably donate that. I have my handheld mixer. We have this thing, and this thing is amazing. A subscriber sent me this, and it is a meat shredder. It is so fabulous. It will shred your chicken or whatever it is that you've got so quickly, and it does go in the dishwasher. Love, love, love this thing. They have other colors as well. Then we also have this silicone thing for the air fryer, but I don't even need this anymore because I have a different air fryer. So that's another thing I could donate. And there's a waffle iron back there. Again, we don't use that very often anymore because pancakes and waffles have not been our thing lately. But this thing right here, yeah, I grab that all the time. On the bottom, I have our kettle and then our blender attachments, things like that. And then back there in the back, I just have like a 9x13 baking dish and the carrying case. So if I make something for church or something like that, I use that. But that is that cabinet. So you think you've seen all the cabinets, and we do have a lot of cabinets. I will say, when we looked at this house, that this kitchen kind of sold me the house because it was so functional. And used to, there was even more cabinets, because if you can tell, this area that has the can lights in it, it used to have cabinets that dropped down. You remember the days when they did that. And so there was like a little pass through right here. So the lady who redid this house ripped those down. And I'm forever thankful because it opened it up, and we still have plenty of cabinets. But we have one more little hidden cabinet right here. I love this cabinet. And if you have a peninsula like this and there's just dead space over here, highly recommend adding a cabinet because it stores things that I very rarely use, but I don't want to have to store elsewhere. So I have our ice cream maker in here. We have a lunchbox in here. Our Instant Pot is back here. Some random kitchen things are in here. So I've got like this silicone baking mat, a pineapple core. I mean, how often am I using that? Not very often, but it's there. I also have these in here, and I use these pretty frequently. I probably could move these out of here because I do get irritated having to come over here and get them. But if you don't know what this is, if you do a lot of meal prep and you have to store things in the freezer bag. You just pop them in here and it will hold them open so you can pour whatever it is in here hands-free. See, I love these things. A subscriber sent me these as well. And then to store them, it lays flat. These are coffee syrup dispensers. I recently got them. I'm wanting to pour our coffee syrups in there to make it look nicer over there next to the espresso machine. A pasta maker. Just random things that we don't use very often, but I don't want to get rid of. And it's nice that it's still in the kitchen. It's just tucked away, out of the way. So there you have it, friends. I have shown you the inside of my cabinets. Are they picture perfect? No. Are they mostly functional though? Yes. They're functional for me. And that's what I feel like is super important, is that if you find yourself always using one particular thing in one part of your kitchen, put whatever it is that you use within arm's reach, even if it doesn't make sense to be in that cabinet or that drawer to anyone else. It makes sense to you, and that is the most important thing. I love our cabinets. I wish they went all the way up to the ceiling. That would be nice. But when we priced redoing our cabinets when we moved in here, that was unreal. So all we did is had them painted, and we put new door fronts and drawer fronts on them. And then of course had the soft close hinges put on them. So they look like brand new cabinets, but they're not. They're the original cabinets from 1977 when this house was built. I hope you got some ideas of maybe some things that might make cooking easier for you, some different ways to maybe organize your cabinets to make it more functional for you, and just like little tips like the Lazy Susan and how to fold your towels if you want to be able to see all of them. Things that, are they necessary? No, but are they nice? Yeah. And don't forget, if you've never tried Thrive Market and you're interested, just go to thrivemarket.com/mandyinthemaking. And when you join today, you'll save 30% on your first order, plus you'll get a free gift. That is a really great deal. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed hanging out with me today. I had fun showing y'all around. It's a little nerve-wracking when you're opening a cabinet and you're thinking, this is not gonna look pretty on camera. But you know what? Here we are. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love for you to join my YouTube family. I share all kinds of cooking, kitchen-related content all of the time. And right now, we're doing a really fun series on Tuesdays where we are cooking the most popular dish from every state in the United States. So that's gonna go through pretty much the entire year. Y'all are the best. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.